29.
28.
27.
26.
25.
24.
23.
22. 21.
20.
19.
18.
17.
16.
15.
14.
13. 12.
11.
10.
8.
6.
6. What happened to 7?
7.
5.
4.
3.
2.
1.
0.
I just bit my tongue. I can't tell. Yep, it's still bleeding. Polly just texted me, asked me if I was going live. Oh, you're going live? What the? Of course I'm going live. It's Monday. Yes, I'm live. Shut up. Ding, ding, ding. Fucking. You know why I have a 30-second countdown? On days like today, so that I don't drop an F-bomb in the first 30 seconds to video. So I have a horrible idea. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to accomplish the goal today because I want to give you guys some lead up and some time to prepare. But I'm going to say that I will pull the same shit that Nick Spaz pulled here a couple years ago. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. And if you guys can meet a certain goal, I will put my Norseman in its case and carry this a lit edge. God, this thing's horrible. I will carry this a lit edge trusted brand as my primary carry knife. Now, you gotta keep in mind, I have to carry other stuff. I review knives. So I'm going to say on Wednesday, if we reach it's perfectly self-serving. I have expensives and things like that. And this is my only income. So I'm going to say that we're going to come up with a number that makes sense. And if everybody donates and we reach that monetary goal, I will carry this plastic piece of shit in my pocket for the remainder of the month. I don't know. So we're going to talk about that. Oh, geez, this thing is horrible. It's still, as horrible as this is, it's still better than the Frost cutlery. Look at that beauty. God, it's horrible. The fact is that they didn't even bother to put an actual utility blade in there. They sharpened the liner. Put that back at you again. They sharpened the liner. I'm hoping we're going to see. It's okay. That was the caveat. If it breaks, there are two others. And if these break, we'll get to this one. This one is the worst of all of them. It already rattles. That is the free shipping knife, as seen behind me. My tongue really hurts. I bit it real hard. I was trying to say something, and I was talking to my wife, and I was like, crunch. I was like, oh, that was a good one. I bit my tongue hard. So, we have multiple knives that I could go through. So I'm thinking, on average, we've got, 22, 24, 25, 26 people at any given time. I'm thinking that a goal, I hope it's not a lofty goal, for me to put that knife in my pocket and put my Norseman in its case, I'm not going to do it for less than, let's just say $400. Not going to do it for less than $400. So we would have to do a live feed. Well, I mean, we could do it. I guess we could do it across the week. If you guys do it during the live feeds, the next 3 live feeds, is that an XM18? No, it's not. Absolutely not an XM18. It's not even funny, Mark. That you would even, I should kick you out of here. I should kick you out of here. I should put you in timeout. I should put you in timeout for 5 minutes. If they all break, you'll have to carry a Dollar Tree knife. Don't worry. I have some other garbage knives around here. What do you guys see? What do you guys think? You want to see those knives loaded with some tannerite? Do you guys think that's a good idea? You think we can do that? Do you think it would work? No, you weren't there for that live feed. Well, okay. So was it a poor decision, Mike? I said that if somebody donated the money for the Mystery Box Trio on Cutlery Corner Network, that I would purchase them and review them. And then it turned into me purchasing them. Well, it started, I would purchase them, and then it turned into me purchasing them and sharpening them. And then it turned into me purchasing, sharpening, and reviewing them. But, oh, geez. Okay, so we're going to have, okay, somebody is going to have to be the keeper of the totals. Jesus Christ. I'm going to have to, this is such a bad idea. God, why do I get myself into these? Oh, how do we get into these situations? Well, you open your fucking yap, Mike. You're the one that opens your goddamn pie hole. All right, so we're already at... Jesus. We're not at 400. Not even close, Kyle. Fuck. See, I get myself into trouble with these things because I say I'm going to do something. So let me get my bell. God damn it. I told you, I got a bad idea. You guys are going to love it. I have a horrible idea. You guys will love it. For every $1, it's 2. No, it's not. There's Aiden's. Let's get Will's. I don't know why I get so upset about things, and then I do this. Do you know I was angry? You know I was cantankerous? Because when I set up the live feed, I was angry and cantankerous. I had to drive today twice in Southern California. Once at 1 p.m. and then again at 4 p.m. And both times, as I'm driving, I realized how effing stupid people are on the road. If you are in the far left lane and cars are passing you on the right, get over. Because you're in the wrong lane. Why can't you say the F word? I try to refrain from it. The main reason that I don't say it and I don't curse in my videos, I try to refrain from it. I definitely do it in live feeds because I get all wound up. I try not to curse in my videos because there are, I mean, my channel is not age restricted and I'd like to keep it that way. And I guarantee that there's parents who have children that watch my videos by accident and things like that, or that are appreciative of the fact that I don't curse. Like I say, I curse in live feeds. And if you're wondering why you can't say the F word in the comments section, it's 100% because I don't want it in the comment section of my videos because there may be children there. And if you set it up, you can't make a difference. So if it's set up so that it blocks heavy profanity in the comments section of my videos, it by default does it in my live feeds. Oh, here we go. Walt Gilbert. $4.99. I'm keeping a tally. I got to ring a bell. Hey, Polly's here. I don't know, or dildo is If DIK or dildo is not age restricted, you never should. I don't understand what that says, but I'd prefer that you don't. It's 1040 for you. Okay, that's nice. It's not 100%, Kyle. I'm not 100% sure, Kyle. And now I'm a little bit afraid of the package you said you're sending me. Guys, big shout out to Kyle. I was joking the other day when I said that I forget what he said I blamed him. And he was like, there was something that came up and he's like, do you blame me? I was like, yes, now I definitely blame you for that. So I don't remember what the conversation was. And jokingly, I said it. And then he said he felt bad. Oh, the demonetization. It happens. I get videos demonetized all the time, especially live feeds. So, I got you. That channel. Well, here's the thing. I'm a little bit more conservative and right-leaning, and I don't know if you've noticed that's not the popular thing on social media. So I just keep my fucking mouth shut. God. Mike, I have a great video. I have a video idea. War helmet nachos. I stole a war helmet at the Cross Swords in Baghdad, and I'm going to fill it with nachos and eat it. I think you should definitely do that. I think that that's a beautiful, beautiful idea. I love it. You should cut up the parts. And I'll send you this. You can cut up this. You just can't throw it away. Because like this knife back here, piece of art. But I'll let you borrow it to cut up the ingredients for your nachos. Can we get another Yee Mike stream? I am going to look at another catalog of notoriously bad knives. So when we do the Boker catalog, we will get a Yee Mike PDM stream. So yes, we will have the Yee again. But I did this, like I said, if we get to $400 in super chats by Friday, including Friday, I will absolutely I will put my Norseman in its case, and I carry. Which one did I say I was going to carry? Oh, okay. I'll let you guys vote. I forgot about this one. Do you guys want me to carry the Blue Dragon? Oh God. That one's even worse. I should be like, I don't want to show you guys this. This one's even worse. So you want me to carry the Blue Dragon or I don't even know what you call this thing. So if we get to $400 in super chats by Friday, I don't know. They're both pretty fucking bad. They're both pretty bad. Let's see. I think this one's worse because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable and it's ugly. So I'm going to have to say probably, it's tipped down as well. Yeah, I'm going to say that Big Frank, I'm going to say that your Milwaukee carpet cutter is probably 1,000 times better. This makes that M-Tech look like a champ. Yes, they're all tipped down. Oh, God, it's horrible. I'm going to have to say I think this one is worse. I would say I'd carry the Spider one. But, I mean, this one's just completely unusable. So I will carry one of these if you guys can do that. I don't. This one is just not, I can't even pretend. It's not enriched light. It's fucking plastic. See, I curse on my live feeds. Oh, so yeah. I'll probably make a community post about it. According to Yee Mike, it's not Yee Mike. That's PDM. Oh, this thing is hideous. Hideous. Not even Not even good on the others. I'm going to have to say, I think this would be the one. And here's why. On top of the fact it's a piece of crap, I don't like Persian style blades. So you guys would be making out. I would be carrying not only a pretty horrible knife, but in a blade pattern. According to, I don't know. But we're already basically $25 into it. So yeah, that's my great plan. My beautiful idea is to carry one of these for the rest of the month. We have a guest on Friday. We have Ben from Jack Wolf Knives. He's going to be on. And I will make sure that I let him know what the deal is with what that was a GDM move. I don't know what that is. The tip is so high up there, it might as well be behind you for utility cuts. What's everyone carrying today besides? I know I'm tempting them. I am tempting them because I got bills I got to pay. And I'm like, well, this is a good way to do it. Let's see. I will suffer for the rest of the month for y'all if we can get to the $400 mark by the end of the week. I'll carry this. This thing is horrible. I wish I had never even opened the box. I wish I had never even opened these. I wish I had just like, hey, the knives came. And then just as I open them, just threw them in the trash can. Like that would have been the best course of action. I'm like, there's $53 that I threw away and I'm perfectly fine with it. Yeah, I think it's the Blue Dragon. I'm gonna do a post about it. So, what was this? I carried the button lock Elementum and the Rogers design. Pena Fixie ZT. Sorry, these just now popped up. ZT 0920. The big boy. I got my big boy in my pocket. I had this out today and carrying it because I'm not I was out busy today doing stuff. And I had to do our taxes. So I finally got my taxes done. I was waiting for one last thing. Let's see what else everybody else got. Big Frank says he's got a Cold Steel Recon 1 CTS XHP. They had really good CTS XHP. Daniel was used 20 CV Delica and M4 bug out with. You're carrying a spider coat and a Benchmade? Why are you on my channel? Why are you here? Go away. I'm just kidding. XM24. This is Will B. Spyderco PM2 with tie scales. Concept pre-tout. Civivi Cogent and a Cold Steel Tough Light. That's a bad. DDR 5.5 Mad Max. I knew someone would. It works. Not great as a tool. What's up, Chuck? I was just letting them know that I'm going to do a thing where if everybody donates and gets me to a specific mark, I will put my Norseman away and carry this as my primary carry for the rest of the month. With the exception of stuff that I have to carry for review. You know, I have to carry the stuff that Jared sent me. I got a lot of knives in here. So I am going to sharpen this before I carry it. So you guys are going to get, if we get to that point, I will do a sharpening video and I will start carrying. So Walt Gilbert carried the Rogers Designs EWC. I believe the EWC is not a Rogers design. I believe that is a Ray Laconico design, and it's done by Monterey Bay Knives, the EWC. I'm not sure, but like if somebody else has got a knife called the EWC, I'd be curious to see how Ray Laconico feels about that. S90V PM2, that's not a bad knife. 2A Dave, I love mine. The CRK Zantanto, that's what you've been carrying for a while. That's not a bad looking knife. I like the 920, Frank says. Tail end of the month. tail end of a month with the Doug Ritter Hogue. Honey Bear says he's got an S45 ZMP, S35 VNPM2 with glow rhino titanium scales. Nice. Carried your SE. Nice, Chuck it. I carried my Kubi 331 at work today. Got a new Tucson in the mail. Big Frank, you can take advantage of utility knives. The fastback is one better, especially for carpet. I carry frost cutlery. Get out. I'm apparently going to be getting ready to. Let's see. Anybody else got anything? Any suggestions on a stone to pick up for recurves? 1,000 grit max, maybe 400. Well, you're going to want to get a couple of them because you can't reprofile on a 600. You need the entire set of 1/2-inch edge pro stones. That's what you need. That's what I use for recurves. That's the only stone you're really going to be able to get on it. But you want the whole set. You want the 120. You want the 220, the 400, the 600, 1,000, because you cannot reprofile any modern steels with a 600 grit stone. So that dragon already looks sharp. God damn. I see that there's a donation down here further. I'm sorry. I'm getting to it. Chuck it. Well, Gilbert, oh shit, you're right. I don't know where the oh shit, you're right came from. I farted. And I've been eating kimchi for like 3 days. It's going to stink. 920 is the Les George design. Is that the short, stubby chode of a Les George? I don't like that knife. It's the little short one. One more time. 4 Max Scout. Gotcha. A lot of talk. There's another 10. I'm keeping track. I hit the bell. My pin. Oh, it's the big ass one. Another 10. It's gonna be an ugly month. I'm not going to tell you guys when we hit it, though. I'm just going to let us keep doing it. So I'm going to stop letting you, because if we go past the 400 mark, I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm just going to carry it. I'll tell you I'll tell you that we hit it at the end of the week. If we go past it, I'm still going to. I love it. Ring that bell for me. I love that ring and bell for me. Hurts. It does. It hurts. So let's go back up here. Underestimate. I don't know where we're at here. I'm kidding. That stuff is asked. Gritomatic. Yeah, you can get a 1/2-inch Gritomatic. I recommend a 1/2-inch because a 1-inch is wide and you're going to wind up with weirdness in your bevels. Even though it doesn't seem that wide, it is wide enough that you're still going to hit the corners of your stone and you're not going to get a good end result. Rogers Design Slim Utility. That slut looks good. Stop talking about people's significant others. Kyle, that's not appropriate. I'm not sure what Walt posted, but I'm pretty sure that if it's his family, that's not nice. Underestimate my patience. I don't know what patience we're talking about. No, it's the big ass one. Okay. I own one. It's the only really the one I like. Let's get down through here. I carried the 4 Max a couple days ago. Walt says the 920 isn't the chode. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that little chode one. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's an okay knife. It's too stubby and it's weird looking. We're talking pocket checks. Yes, we are. It's fantastic. My only complaint is slight late lockup on the liner lock. Well, Gilbert says it's a tank of a knife. I imagine we're still talking about that. Mike should carry a Medford. Mike has carried a Medford, and they're incredibly well built. I just don't like Greg's designs. I really don't. I just don't like Greg's designs. Like all the other shit aside, like all of Greg's personal shit and the stuff I'm not going to talk about anymore because I don't want him living rent-free in my head. His knives are incredibly well made. I just don't like them. Like I've never seen a Medford that I'm like, that's a knife. That's the knife I want. I've never seen one that I like. What do you think about padded micro mesh for convex edges? I don't think about it. I think it's a bad idea. Micro mesh is a polishing company. I use it for finishing handles, wood handles, because you can get an incredible polish on them without having to use any polishing compound. I don't think it's what you want for metal. It's not meant for metal. It's meant for paint. I just don't think it has, I don't think it's got that I have the padded shit. I use it for, like I said, finishing handles. I just don't think it has the abrasiveness that you're looking for to actually do metal, especially newer metal. And I think what's going to happen is you're just going to burnish that edge. I don't think it's actually going to cut. I think that you will have a very polished edge that will not cut anything. Can you recommend a good 3 to 3.5 inch Ferrum Forge NTAC? They're hard to come by. That's a really good knife if you don't mind a thicker behind the edge thickness. Let's see. Penguin's not a bad one. It's just right. It's just right about that length. And then you got the Rhea. Maybe the Ferrum Forge Gent. I can't remember if that's a 3.5 or a 4-inch blade. Those would be some ones that I would recommend. I did a video a while back about gentleman's folders, though. Josh Worth just realized he was like 5 minutes behind. That's okay. I was like 5 minutes behind in the chat as well. Micro mesh is awesome on wood. It can bring some dull, stabilized wood to shiny. Yes, it can. I just honestly don't think it's got the cutting potential to do what you think you want for a edge. It's just, if you can't do convex edge, I can do it for you. If you don't mind practicing for a while, you can teach yourself how to do a convex edge. I did. It took me a couple years. So, did you hear about that weird 2-grit sharpening that Cedric ate? Yeah, I heard about it. I haven't tried it. I understand what they're trying to say. I'm just like, you know what? Just do a 400 grit edge. It's going to cut like a 400 grit edge. If it's polished on, if it's like 1,000 grit on one side and 400 grit on the other, it's going to cut like 400 grit. I would just prefer to not go to the extra area. If I want it to cut like a 400 grit edge, I'm just going to do 400 grit edge, because I'm not going to have to go to the trouble of taking it further on one side than the other. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm still going to be like, I still think that you're not going to get, I think you're still going to get an inconsistency on the edge, because you're sharpening one side at 400 and you have to keep sharpening on the other, which means that you have to touch up the other side, which means you're taking more material off of this side than you are on this. And if you continue to do that, you're going to get an asymmetrical edge that's going to walk over to a weird angle. So your blade will be like that, and then your edge will be like that, if that makes sense. Can you see how my arms make the V, and then my hands up here is supposed to be the edge? So I don't think that's going to get you where you're going. Why do you hate us V-grind guys? Psst, convex sucks. Because convex does a better cut. I did it in a video. So if you have a V, the material touches that edge the entire time. If you have this, it only touches up here, and it kicks that material off the side like a wedge. It does. I'm telling you right now, I can do a V grind. I can do a V grind edge, and I don't find it cuts as well or as long as convex. Convex, you've got a little bit more material behind that really acute edge. You've got that little bit of a wedge to it that pushes material out of the way. Why do you think Japanese swords cut so well? The whole thing is a convex. It pushes the material out of the way and allows that edge to continue in with less friction along the sides. That's why. So that's what I got to say right there. 3D anvil. I mean, it's kind of going to happen, especially like if you can do it without like over lifting and getting up onto the edge and knocking your edge off. It winds up being a great edge. Don't stop doing it. Why would you want to stop doing it? So how many people are here? 31 people here. Man, I don't figure it. I was telling Cole this. I was like, I don't get it. Like, I have way more subscribers than you, but his live feed numbers, always better. Always better. By the way, Cole is sending me a family heirloom for sharpening, and I'm definitely going to talk about it in a video. I will definitely sharpen it, and I will make sure that Cole has some input. Maybe he gets to shoot. Maybe he sends me the intro to the video about it, something like that. I mean, it's going to be fun. I have to repair something. Need more likes up in here. I can't see how many likes we got. So, love you anyways, besides your inferior shape. I'll show you an inferior shape. I'm going to have your address. I'm going to send you. You send me that package of stuff, and I'm going to poop in the box and send it back to you. Just for that comment. I'm just kidding. I told you I was in a cantankerous mood today. Luke Cole, he's so humble he didn't recommend the sea snake. No, not that. Well, I mean, I talk about the sea snake all the time, and I believe that he said a folding knife. If I go back and look, I'm going to say he was probably talking, if I remember correctly, about a 3.5-inch folder, 3 to 3.5. My thoughts on the Rockstead Shin. It's a great knife. I just don't think it's, okay. I always wanted one. I wouldn't pass one up if one came my way for free. But I think they're a little bit overplayed. You've got an aluminum handle. Granted, they're great and incredibly well made, but you're still looking at an aluminum handled knife at about $600 to $900, depending on the configuration. Like, I just don't think it's there for me. You know what I mean? I just don't. But then again, people would say the same thing about me paying $900+ for a Norseman. Yeah, I get it. I just don't think the Rockstead is something that I would pay that kind of money for. Theory question for standard-ish steels, let's say roughly $10.95. What would the effect be on a kitchen knife? What would be an effective edge on a kitchen knife after sharpening to say, let's say 8K and then using to prep a meal? Well, I wouldn't take a kitchen knife to 8,000. The most I'll ever take a kitchen knife to is about 3,000. And that's because that's about what my rod is on, hang on, I'll show you what I'm talking about. My ceramic rod that I use to maintain a lot of knives. I use this to maintain a lot of knives. It hangs up out here. My kitchen knives in particular get touched up on this. You see it's used a lot. This is about a 3,000 grit ceramic. So does it make sense for me to take it to 8,000 grit? And then after like 20 minutes, I put it on this and and then I'm taking it right back to 3,000 grit. The other thing too is you take stuff up that high and you lose in the kitchen. You want a good toothy edge. I don't typically go above, to tell you the truth, my kitchen knives typically don't go above 1,000. So if even that, I have a couple knives that go above that. Well, that's what I was saying. I don't take them to 3,000 grit. I take them to 800 grit, and then I continue to touch them up on this, and they stay okay because you're not like this. You're not making full contact, so you're going to maintain some of the toothiness that I edge on this. I'd say 1,000 grit, but my knives, like as I'm using them, I'm touching them up. A kitchen knife, as you use it, you should be touching it up on a ceramic. Like if I cut up some carrots and something, and I'm cutting into I take this in if I'm cooking, and I know I'm going to do a lot of knife work, like something I'm preparing where I got to cut up a lot of vegetables and a lot of meat. This goes in with me while I'm cooking. I go grab it, and let's say every time I'm cleaning the knife in between things, because you know, cleaning your knife in between vegetables and meat, I hit it on the rod, because keeping your knife sharp in the kitchen is important for a couple of reasons. If you let it get dull, one, you're not going to get good clean cuts, but now you're reaching a point where this might not be able to get it. If you let that knife continue to get dull, you get to a point where you have to sharpen, and you eventually will have to sharpen. If you hit something hard, you hit a bone, you might chip the edge. Like every other item I cut 2 items, touch it on a rod. Cut a couple items, touch it on a rod. So I don't know how long, because a dull knife in the kitchen is like the worst thing you can have. You're using too much pressure. You're going to slip. Yeah, exactly. There you go, Frank. Dull kitchen knives are dangerous. All dull knives are dangerous. You're more likely to cut yourself with a dull knife than you are with a sharp knife. And even if you do cut yourself with a sharp knife, there's a good chance it's going to heal real quick because it's clean and it's a sharp cut. Yes, absolutely. So if I'm cooking something, this will probably get, like if I'm doing, let's say I'm doing a pot of chili, or it's KOLE. I didn't pay any. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what we're talking about here. Cutting Lance. I have no idea. I don't use Adobe at all. I don't use any of those. So at any rate, like I was saying, if you let your knife get dull, it's going to continue to get more dull, and you're going to reach a point where you have to take off more material than you should. I can tell you that knife that I got, the Mattia Barani cutlery kitchen knife, I've sharpened it twice. When I got it, because I didn't like the edge. The second time was because I hit, as I was cutting up some cilantro to make a cilantro aioli, they had bound the cilantro twice, and one of the papers had come off, and there was a piece of wire still. And so I took the original one off, and then I was cutting, and then I hit the wire, the second wire that was back on the stocks, and I took a chunk, like I cut through it, and I was like, shit. That's the only reason I've sharpened it. A lot of my kitchen knives, if you've got a good ceramic rod and you're doing what I'm saying, you're maintaining it throughout use, I've very rarely ever sharpened our kitchen knives, and they are ridiculous sharp. Oh, cutting lace. Oh. Okay, and it's KOLE. Cutting lace. I don't know why I saw Lance. I don't know. Hi there. I need to get my brother-in-law a sharpener. He has knives, just doesn't maintain them. Tell him to learn how to freehand sharpen. I'm telling you, most of the knives that are up there that I have in right now are going to require a little bit of extra, and it's because somebody used a fixtured system. Wanted to ask you, Mike, how do you sharpen scissors? I have a SOG Cubiton and the scissors are getting dull. Well, K-Man, you know what? That sounds like a perfect topic for a sharpening tutorial series. Since you're a paying member, I don't remember what tier you are. If you're a paying premium tier member, I'm going to do a sharpening. I'll do a sharpening tutorial series. I'll do one of those for the for paying members, for the premium tier guys. How do I sharpen scissors? You can do it on a rod. It works better if you actually sharpen them on a stone and just set the edge. But it's pretty simple. It's just like sharpening a chisel ground knife, except you don't have to knock the burr off the back. You just close the scissors. Was it my knives? No, I'm not sharpening your. Am I sharpening your knives? The Vero and everything, which I have not done a first impressions or anything on yet. I think I am the middle. Yeah, well, it's not that hard to touch them up. Certain shapes are limited. I'm going to tell you, I don't care how good people think they are doing on their fixtured systems. I get them in and I can always tell because the tips are a little bit rounded. I don't care how much you try not to do it. That angle carries over and it rounds off the tip. It always does. Beardo's, Vero, and all those have got rounded tips. The knives that Murky sent me have got a couple rounded tips. I sharpen mine to 1,000, and that's good for 20 meals before it gets unhappy with me. Lightly touch up every 2 weeks or so. With the Sharpening, it's 63 AEB. It takes nothing to top up. That's what I was saying. Like if you did it, if you had one of these in your kitchen hanging on a hook, And the nice thing about this one is that it's got that rubber foot. You can just put it down like that and you just touch it up. So you could probably go indefinitely if you had one of these in your kitchen, if you were touching them up. I don't want to donate. I have enough stuff here for sharpening. Could you sharpen a CRKT Tonto? Yeah, I did a video about me sharpening one, Ethan, not long ago. It's been maybe a year or so ago. I don't need my knives to be pretty, just functional. Yeah, but I mean, it makes it so much easier to use the tip of the knife properly when they're not blunt. Chuck it. I used it one time. There's no easy to it in my, yeah, it's, I heard somebody say, I was looking at another editing program. I have OSB. I have the OSB editing suite on my laptop. I'm going to try and see if it has functions that I can't do on, I'm going to see if it has functions that I can't do on iMovie. But right now I've got so much stuff already set up, music already built, and libraries of stuff. I don't think I need anything else. I mean, really, the quality of the videos have been great. The issue with quality of the video is typically the person filming it, not the editing software. My editing software seems to be doing just fine for what I want. Okay. So Adobe is overkill for most YouTube videos. Yeah. I mean, now if I was doing some of the stuff that Cole does, I might be looking at like some of the other, what's the matter? My daughter just walked behind us. You can walk this way. So far, it's vastly more understandable to me. I'm editing videos now, and it seems to get, yeah. I think that, like, as far as just like clear, concise ease of use, iMovie's probably one of the best. There's so many videos showing how to do it. Have I tried the Draver yet? Beardo, I have not tried any of your knives yet. That's why I said I haven't even done a first impressions. They haven't even been in my pocket yet. It's been, can you close that, please? Okay. Freezing. It's cold tonight. So, Blackmagic Resolve is free. Really powerful as well if you're into editing. See, I want something that's not, I don't care. Like, as long as the quality of the source video is good. The only thing I could think of would be any of the audio editing that would get rid of some of the echo. But I think I've taken care of that. I basically built myself a portable sound shield. I have 2 step ladders. I have a curtain rod and some towels, and I have some clips. And so I dampen the towels, I hook them on the rod, and I put them right behind the camera, and I film everything that I need to film with the green screen. And then I go and I film the tabletop stuff, or most of the time I film the tabletop stuff. And then I come back and I do the green screen pieces, because this back here is the only portion I need that sound barrier for. Because when I'm using this green screen, the sound bounces back off the forward wall, off the TV and everything. So basically I've just made myself a sound barrier. I might take Jared up on his offer of a couple of sound blankets and see if those work even better. So you can do some echo cancellation in software if you already, yeah, see, I'm just going to get rid of it at the source. And the problem is sometimes I will edit music, I will edit audio and things happen. And then when I post it to YouTube, YouTube screws the audio all up. Now I've went back and I've watched source videos. I'm sorry, I'm reading comments. So sometimes it's a pain, and sometimes I'll go to all that trouble and I'll edit out, and I'm like, I'll listen to it on headphones. I'll listen to it on native speakers. I'll listen to it on the TV and plug in a HDMI cord and watch it on the TV. And I'm like, okay, I've gotten rid of the echo. and I post it to YouTube. And when I post it to YouTube, all those audio edits I do go away. And sometimes the audio fluctuates and volume and things like that. Like somebody texted me, sent me was on a post and they're like, yeah, just so you know, the audio was all over the place on this. And I was like, I don't know why. It wasn't when I listened to the source audio. And if you guys want to know why I stopped doing premieres, I will honestly tell you it's because I don't want to watch those videos with you guys anymore. It's not that I don't enjoy the interaction, but I'm in there for like 15 minutes after I've already watched my videos so many times. Diva, I will send that shit to you just so it's not in my house. Like, I would love to take you up on that offer, but that just, I would feel like a villain. I would feel like a villain if I did that. That 3K super vitrified feels like a 1K. I'm still going to buy one. The stones I have, I could not wear out in the rest of my life. Those ceramics and Sharpenings and things that I've got. And while I get it, I understand. I get it and I understand that some people would want that. I just don't see $400 for an individual stone. I don't. I just don't see it. William Powell III. Better or worse than the M-Tech? I would carry the M-Tech voluntarily. I would carry the M-Tech voluntarily over being paid. Like if we hit the $400 mark and somebody says carry the M-Tech instead, I'll be like, fucking thank God. Bro. Bro, like, it's hideous. They are horrible. These are the worst knives ever. And so in case anybody that was here didn't hear the deal, if we get to $400 in super chats for the week, I will carry this as my primary carry exclusively. Like, I will put my Norseman in its case and I will be chatting videos of it as comments and posts, different places that I go with it. I'm going to sharpen it. Yes, I farted. I will carry this. Tip down. These are plastic, by the way. Plastic. You want to see? Here, hang on a second. I don't want to break it. Chuck it is like, somebody get to donate. And I paid for the knives. Can you guys see that? It's plastic. Plastic scales. Where'd everybody go? Nice squeaker. You guys heard it? It doesn't smell good. I can't. Sometimes it won't deploy. So the Drifter didn't make it into the super slicer list. Here's the thing. So about that video, some people were like, oh, well, why'd you pick that knife? Why was that your pick? And I was like, because it's my favorite knife. I was talking about the Laconic Will Be. Come on, guys. Let's go. Damn it. Will, I'm holding you personally responsible for this. Will Be with the Big 10 bones. Did you guys see Cole's face when we were doing the live feed and he saw that I could hold my Mordax like in my hand and cover it? He was like, there's no fucking way. There's no way. Holy shit. Like the look on his face. Like, I don't think that it registered for him to, would you take Nike donations to carry it? To carry what? Beardo, you're going to have to hit me up with a DM in the Gilded server. By the way, guys, I'm sorry I have not been on the Gilded server. I have been so busy. I had to finish up taxes. I had to get information about, even though I didn't have to pay taxes on the sale of the house, I had to have all the info, date of purchase, price of purchase, all the fucking fees and shit. And I couldn't find any of that paperwork. It got moved. It's here somewhere, but it's in a box full of stuff. And and I can't find it. And so I had to call I had to call a real estate agent that sold me the house and the real estate agent that sold the house for me. And I had to contact them both to get the information so that I could get it put in the video. Well, you guys say Cole's got tiny hands. I'm sitting in the largest chair that Timber Ridge sells, and I completely cover it. Can you tell that this shoulder has had several surgeries? It sits at a different angle. So it's not that Cole has such tiny hands. Cole probably has about average hands. I have something else. I have something other than normal hands. Carry the greatest knife ever, that blue plastic. Yes. Yes, it's pretty hideous. But like I said, here's the thing. Like I have a pretty good like, you talking like this way? Like across the top? I don't know what we're talking about, Dave. Measure my hand and it's 4.7 across. Yours have got to be. Well, and you were like, well, you weren't joking about your hands. Ooh, the Pina Apache. Is that the one with the kick? Johnny Casada, or as I like to call him, Johnny Quesadilla, new member. I got to add that to the. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you guys what the tally is. I'll just tell you at the end of the week whether we hit it. I will not lie. I swear to God, if we hit the $400 mark, I will carry the knife. It's looking promising already. It's looking promising that you guys are going to get to see me that. Johnny Casada with the super sticker. Let me get that bell up here. I apologize. I can't see what sticker you put up, and I'm not going to watch the video after. I mean, that's a big cowbell. What was this? This is true. But I can hold, like, I did a Twitch stream one time, and a kid came in and was watching, and he was like, what's in your hand? And I was like, a can of beer. And he was like, where? And I was like, it's in my hand. He's like, hang on. And he went and got some of his friends. Was like, look at this can of beer in this dude's hands. It doesn't look normal. No, I didn't get the kicks. No, didn't get the kick stop because they only had it colored fat carbon, and I can't stand that. But I'm saying, was the one you're talking about, is that the one with the kick stop on it? Because I like the kick stop. I just think that the one that they did for the one with the propeller, I can't think of the name of the knives. Wingman EDC. I think that was I think that wasn't done as well as I've seen some other knives with a kick stop. Yeah, close in hand size, like 10 and a half, something like that. It's not just that. It's like whatever it is, it's not just the size. It's like the thickness of my hands. They're just big. I just have like these really big. Tino can put his wedding ring like almost inside mine. Yeah, what was that? I had a tall boy. Like, what are you drinking? I was like, a tall boy. They're like, it's not a tall boy. I was like, yeah, it is. The Apache does come in a kick stop as well. Okay, yeah, I knew that Pena did one. It was hard to see today. It was only under my live was hard to see today. It was only on my subscriptions, but I made it here. I don't know. YouTube sometimes sends stuff out, Lonely Stacker. Sometimes they don't. I'll let you in, Lonely Stacker, since you're just showing up. I can tell you if we reach a certain number of dollar value by the end of the week, I will carry this exclusively. I have to do smog check on my vehicle. I was getting ready to go. I was going to pay my DMV, my registration on a Volkswagen. And I'm like, I'm like in there, and it says it was denied. And I was like, and I just kept trying to do it. I was like, all I want to do is pay for my sticker. And I kept doing it. It says it was denied. And it says read further information. And I go down and it tells me that I have to have a smog check in the system. And I'm like, man. So now I have to go, and I can't just take it to a regular place. I got to take it to a Star station. Luckily, there's a Star close. Beardo, me and my buddy measured my forearms one time. My forearms from just around here are like 14 or 15 inches on my forearms. I've turned wrenches my entire adult life. Yeah, California. I mean, here's the thing. Like, it's not that it's like $25. That's not the point. It's just the point that like I have to go, and instead of just being able to do my freaking thing, because there's literally a smog check. I could do smog check like within walking distance of my house. But the fact is I have to take it to a Star station, which means I have to take it all the way downtown Chula Vista on Broadway, not even Main Street. Main Street's close. So I have not. Let's see. Still considering grabbing one of those kick-stop fat carbons. Mike's fist is that guy talking smack's face. Popeye. 25? Yeah, it's like 20. I think it's like, yeah, the place over here at the Star Station, it's like 20, 25. Well, I'll tell you what, Dave, when you come down to pick up the knife that you won, you notice that I have not asked for your address yet because it's here, because I think you should come and get it. I have now had two of my paying members. Well, one of my paying members is a friend of mine, Juan. So if you ever see Juan in the scroll up, he doesn't ever really chat or anything. He lives just down the road. He's a friend of mine. We work construction together. The landscape construction. We helped build the new border crossing down at Otay. We worked in the town center, UTC towns, not UTC town, La Jolla Town Center construction project. He's a really good dude, and I like him a lot. He stops by occasionally. He stopped by, I think, Thursday night last week. So, but that means that in this month, I've had two of my paying members stop by the house for a visit. I had Winston Capretti stop by, drop some stuff off. That is where we got the Scorpion versus Predator, Scorpion versus Sub-Zero knives. So PDM got the DDD strength. Yeah, I mean, I've done some shit that people are like, there's no reason you should have been able to lift that. My wife watched me one time. We had a set of dresser and she was trying to help me carry it. And I was getting really frustrated. And this thing was heavy. And she just kept getting in the way. And so she would try to pick it up and it kept pinching my hands because she'd drop it. And I was like, just get out of the way. And I picked the whole thing up and I carried it outside by myself because it was just easier. And I didn't want to get mad at her because every time she would slip, it would pinch my finger in between the dresser and the wall. And so I just picked the whole thing up by myself and just carried it out. And she was like, holy shit. If I fly in, do I get a cot and free sharpening? No, but I'll put a cot in the yard and you can get a cat on you to keep you warm. I'm not letting some random dude stay at my house. I'll spend more on gas than the cost of the knife just driving down. Yeah, but we could hang out and drink beer and watch a movie. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it sucks. And you don't want to get mad at the person helping you. You really don't want to get mad at the person helping you because you love them, even though they're fucking frustrating the ever-living shit out of you. And that makes you cantankerous. As you guys know how old I am, the word cantankerous is an actual word. Cantankerous. I spelled it wrong in the title, but I looked it up. And it every time I would spell it correctly, it still showed up red. And I do know I spelled cantankerous. But so edit. Let me see. Can I edit the title? Cantankerous. Save the change. There we go. I think I changed the title. There we go. Mike, we know you were ancient. Yeah, I know. Just thought that was a sore in your mouth, not a canker. Argumentative a-hole. Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, I'm 47 and I just look at them. I'm 47. I look at everybody and I'm like, if I wouldn't go to jail, if there was a chance that I could drag you outside and beat your head in and kick it down a storm drain and not go to jail, I would absolutely fucking do it. This is why I couldn't do law enforcement. I don't see how my dad did it for so many years. I was like, I don't have the patience for that. Like I would be the dude to be an investigation. Why is it that you have used more pepper spray by yourself than the rest of the department combined? And I was like, because when there's something I want to say. I'm trying to think how I can say it without saying it the way I was going to say it. When they open that big old cock holster under their nose, I just have a tendency to want to fill it up with a little bit of pepper spray. What was that you said? I said, that's what I thought you said. That's what I thought you said. That's better. Stupid people win stupid prizes. Stupid people don't win anything. Well, that's not true. It's a breath of fresh air. Oh, I pepper sprayed a dude one time and it didn't even faze him. We were doing instructor. Like I pepper sprayed him and I had to look at the bottle to make sure I had not grabbed it inert because I was an instructor. And I was like, I got him with the right shit, right? That's not the inert. And I'm like, no, that wasn't a trainer. And this dude shook it off and ran the entire obstacle course and did the evolution. And he got done. And we're like, you want to decon? You want to wash your face off? And he goes, yeah, I probably could. And I'm like, what the fuck is this dude made of? Look who's here. It's Pablo. No one asked you to come here. You don't like my stories? Hey, Paul, I'm in the kind of mood I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. You don't like my stories? Don't fucking watch. What? Very stupid person won $3 million on Powerball a couple years and was poor and homeless in 4 years. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that before. Polly, how many people have you pissed off? All of them. All of them. That's funny because Polly sent me a picture of a bunch of people waiting outside. And I was like, what is that? The line to, I don't know, fuck your mother. War helmet nachos. I'm down for that. I'll send you some pepper spray to put on them. War helmet nachos. I'm digging that. That is funny. I'll tell you what. I can't do it Wednesday. Maybe we can do it. Can you do it? Can you do it for a live feed? Like, can you have it ready for a live feed? Can you just tell me when you want to do it? And I will bring you on and you can eat War helmet nachos in a live feed. I would say I was going to do it Wednesday, but I'm not sure. I know. I know. And here's the thing. Everybody, like some people get upset about Polly. Polly's like mind over matter. I don't mind because Polly doesn't matter. Yeah, find that out. Let me know. Wednesday, guys, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. I'm going to be on Jared's live feed. So that means I have 2 hours of live feed with Jared and then come over here. So Wednesday may start late or might not happen at all. I will let you know. And if that does, then I will extend. If we don't do Wednesday, I'll extend the deadline because I know everybody's going, oh, way to go. You're trying to shorten the deadline so you won't have to carry this. Yes, I will. If I don't do Wednesday and we haven't hit the $400 mark by Friday, if I don't do Wednesday, we will do another day. I'll just basically give it that next Monday. So I will give it every chance. As a matter of fact, I would say if we hit $400 anytime in the next 2 weeks, I'll still do it. You know, because there's a chance that like I might not be able to do Wednesday. I might be just too tired for that. That's your that's HPV Diva. She changed her channel name. When are we doing the peanut butter and pickle podcast? We got to get that figured out too, when we're going to start doing that. It's going to have to be something like we film it on a day, like a Saturday or something, and then we put it up. I don't know. Like I've been doing like 10, 12 hours a day doing YouTube stuff. Today's the first day I haven't filmed and edited in a while. I was just so busy. Like I had to figure out all our tax stuff between YouTube income, 1099 income from construction. My wife's paid. They screwed up her W-2s, and I had income from the house that I had to figure out and stuff like that. So like today was the first day I haven't filmed in a very long time. I don't film on Sundays. Somebody asked me like, why don't I told Jared this too. As much as you may not believe it, I am pretty religious. Sunday was supposed to be a day of rest, or the Sabbath, however you look at it. Like if you're Jewish, you know, Sabbath falls on a different day and it's at night. So like if you, I didn't get the invite. I didn't get the invite to that Shorts meeting, Paulie. So like, if you are ever curious why nothing goes up on Sunday, it's not just because I'm not posting. That's part of it. I believe that Sunday's a day of rest and it's meant for family. And so I spend as much time as I can with my family on Sunday because I work like 6 days a week. Like Saturday, I was telling the guys in the Gilded server, I thought I got everything done. I was like, oh, well, I can do some stuff with the wife and kid in the afternoon. Maybe we can do. And I was like, I got everything done early. And I looked at my clock and it was 6 o'clock. I started at 6 a.m. I stopped at 6 p.m. and I looked at it. I was like, I just did a 12-hour day. I didn't think I did, but I just had done 12 hours. So Sundays, typically the only day that I don't work. So Sundays, I don't post anything. Sundays, I don't film anything. And the reason being is like, yes, I could post something and schedule something for Sunday, but I also believe that you guys need to take that day and be away from the social media. Like if that's the one thing that I could tell everybody, pick a day of the week and just don't do social media. Like I don't. Like we'll watch a movie, we'll hang out here. My daughter and I played Connect 4. We watched cartoons. We did all kinds of stuff. So I don't do any of that on Sunday. So just in case you guys were wondering, could I post something up on Sunday? Yes. I think I did a short one time on Sunday, and that was just because I had it scheduled and didn't look at what day of the week it was. It just wound up being scheduled. I will do video games live feed, and I watch movies with the Gilded server guys sometimes, with the paying members sometimes on Sundays, but I don't consider that social media, and I don't consider that work. It's purely entertainment and fun. One is your ex's channel that's still logged on my computer. Channel just made my FPV one. I don't go to church. While I'm religious, I'm not a churchy guy. There's a difference. If you guys ever want to know about this stuff, I did a video where I talked about my father, like the eulogy I did for my father. I read the eulogy I had written for my father. A lot of this stuff comes from my dad. My dad was religious, but he believed that the biggest problem with religion was the church. So you can be religious and not be churchy. As my father used to say, his religion was between him and God. That's why I don't talk about it very much. I'm just letting you guys know why I don't. So I'm not one of those guys that's going to tell you guys you need to go to church. That's between you and God. So speaking of that, Mike, I tried to add a channel membership to this channel. It wouldn't let me. I think it's because it's all under your name. They only allow one channel. But someone else was saying they were having was it Walt Gilbert was saying they were having a problem with getting a membership and keeping it. Agreed. Just thought hearing you stream with our stupid questions from there would be funny. We used to go to church. I go to church 2 days a year. I go on Easter and I go on Christmas. So those are like the big ones for me, like Easter and Christmas. I'm not big into I don't like the politics of the church. I really don't. That's my big thing. Yeah, I know. Dave is a member. So Dave, you have to keep that in mind. You have to keep that in mind if I do the members only live feeds, which I'm gonna try and do one. Jeez, guys, I got so much stuff I gotta do. So I have knives in for sharpening. And I have videos that are already scheduled. Videos I already have scheduled all the way through Wednesday. So Thursday is if I can't get to filming, I will make sure I make a notice, letting everybody know that there might not be content on Thursday. I have a video scheduled tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. I have a video scheduled Wednesday morning, and then we do a live feed. So Thursday would be the only day this week that we don't have content. I have stuff filmed, but I'm not happy with it, so I'm going to have to re-edit it. What's this? Yeah, I'm having trouble maintaining my membership. I think it has to do with the fact that I signed up on a laptop. I have no problems with super chat on my phone. I don't know how that would work. Walt, I really don't know how that works. So, well, that's weird, Dave. Why isn't Purple Heart Barbecue a paid member? That's my buddy Polly. I gave Polly access to the Gilded server strictly as comic intent. The same reason that I gave it to Cole over at Tri-State EDC, because you didn't pay me, Polly. That's why. See, Polly, you're not a paid, like, I'm not talking like I pay you. You're not a paid member. Like, that means you didn't pay to become a member. But I gave Polly access to the Gilded server just because Polly's fun, and everybody voted that they wanted to let him in. I also gave Jared Neves access and Cole from over at Tri-State, just because those are guys that everybody would enjoy talking to, and then you have access to them other places than YouTube, if that makes sense. It's the fingerprint authorization on my phone that lets it go through. It's not available on my laptop. There has to be another way. I don't know. I mean, I don't. Why would I kick him out? I love Polly. Polly's hilarious. Everybody voted that they wanted Polly in. Get him 2A. What did Polly do? No one was deleting your comments, Polly. I just don't think you know how it works. And if somebody was deleting your comments, I'm going to tell you right now, we don't delete comments in the Gilded chat. That's why I did the Gilded chat. It is you can say whatever you want in there, as long as you're not being like too far, like over the top. And I didn't see any comments that were too far anywhere. So if somebody is censoring comments, I will solve that. And there will be no moderators except for myself on the Gilded server. So I thought we were clear on this. There is no reason to moderate the Gilded server. I gave everybody moderator access as the paying members when I set up the Gilded server, because I set it up as a way everybody could chat. And I set it up because I had planned on keeping that one chat as a members only, and now allowing everyone access to another room. And the paying members were going to help me moderate that if it got over the top and there was fighting and shit. So what was this? I'm enjoyable to talk to, but no, I didn't get invites. No, you didn't. I said Polly because Polly's just a nut and it's a lot of fun. Let's see here. P.S. Don't allow me to moderate. I made fun of an obese person who eats knives and lunch meat. Oh, Polly's a character. Polly's had a couple too many head traumas. My neck is really sore. I'm sorry, guys. I put some CBD cream on my neck. I'm trying to make sure I got it all rubbed in because it feels sticky, but my neck hurts. What was this? Tool A. Hey, Tool A, meet Tool B. You guys should like each other. Guys, it took me so long. Like, I don't know, like how long it takes most people to do their taxes, but my shit was like all screwed up. I watched the Shawshank Redemption from start to finish and still wasn't even close to my taxes. Mike got sticky stuff on his neck. At least it's not in my beard. CBD on left hand is the new age stranger. I like that though. Tool A Dave. That's okay. You know what? From now on, for as long as I can remember, that's what we're going to call 2A Dave in the chat, in the Gilded server. Oh my God, not your beard. How'd you get pink-eyed? Don't ask me silly questions. It's fucking... I was on vacation. Oh, I love doing these live feeds, guys. I don't want you to think I do these live feeds for any other reason than the fact that I love them. I love the fact that we get to talk about stuff like this. Anybody gotten any new knives in? I got... Ooh, guys, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of something that we're going to see. What's this? Nope, that's not it. Here it is. I'm coming. I'm going to do a review of this. This is a belt. And as you can see, it doesn't have a buckle. But now it does have a buckle. So we're going to do a review. Just a little sneak peek. Just a little peek of something that we're going to get to look at later. And this is mine. So guess what? Someone is probably going to get to win this. I'm going to do this as a giveaway. There you go. That's so much stuff here. I got so many videos I still need to shoot. So many videos in so little time. I got my Sub-Zero Deca about 10 days ago. I got a Coral Scoria. I like the Scoria. I just did not like the Scoria as much as some of the other knives. No new knives, but I had Tri-State get them for me, and nice. I'm going to get him to make me some stickers. That's the other thing. I've got to get a hold of him and get some stickers made. He already has my logo. Obviously, he made Sharpie and Brocky Boy. Guys, if you're paying members, don't forget you have access down at the bottom. I can't do it from here, but you guys have access at the bottom to the those special emojis that I made for you guys. I like the Scoria. I just didn't like it as much. I didn't like it as much as the Centros because I didn't like the Scoria as much as the Feldspar, and I didn't like the Feldspar as much as I like the Centros. I think that Centros is just a little bit better of a, it's a little bit better of a design. I like it a little bit more. Where's mine? Brocky Boy. Sharp. Yeah. See you guys. That's another benefit of being a paying member. Frank, I don't know if I told you that. So if you look down there, Frank, you have access to those too. All the paying members do. And don't forget, guys, you save $5 per sharpening. I had the antimatter trading it already. Is that the dagger? Is that the dagger that was the something rotten and then arcane? Was that the arcane and rotten designs dagger that I saw? I like that. That's a good looking knife. So yeah, like I was saying, guys, Wednesday, if we do it, I think Wednesday, if I can muster the energy to go from Jared's live feed to my live feed, we will probably have a yee stream. I think we'll probably look at Boker knives. SOC and Arcane. That's what I thought. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. I would highlight these, but this is all I see on my side. So if you guys, like I said, if you guys see something that pops up that recognizes somebody's membership, like if they've been a member for like, oh, their member's anniversary, YouTube does that, and I can't see it on my side. I can see when somebody joins, I see new member, but that's all I can see. If you can only buy one, nimble liner lock or the Jack Wolf Slippy. I'd have to say Jack Wolf Slippy because as much as I liked the nimble, it's a really, really nice knife. It's really cool. It's well thought out. It's a fun, playful thing. For me, I had a hard time getting past the way it felt in my hand. I'd like to see the nimble XL. That would be something great to get to see. So hopefully one of those comes before too long. So Big Frank said he picked up a Microtech M390 SOCOM Elite Tonto. Has a bit of a weak detent, might say. The thing with all of the SOCOMs, it was weird. They either were just incredible action or the detent was garbage. Like, and I don't mean like too heavy, it was too stiff. No, either they were perfect, like perfect snappy detent, or they just weren't at all. Like they just would, like a lot of them I had, they would just like fall. They would fall open. I forget who, was it Tino that had one for a while? I think I think my buddy Tino had one for a while. You're that kid that had his dad check under his bed every night, aren't you? That's a silly thing to be scared of. Like I've never had a slip joint. Matter of fact, I have a slip joint that I had out for every intention of showing you guys because I found it and I thought I had lost it again. Had this out and was messing around with it. I had my grandfather's little slippy here. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I hope you like the knife as much as I did. This is an old Rimfire Classic Stockman. This is a dogleg Stockman. So it's very, I look at this and I can see that my brother-in-law, before this came to me, obviously, because as I look at it, has run this through that work sharp that my father purchased. I had not looked at that very close. And I look at the edge and I'm like, yep, it's powered sharpener edge. I wish my brother-in-law wouldn't touch shit that doesn't belong to him. The antimatter is nice, but not for me. Would have sent it to you. Well, I mean, I would have just kept it and have been like, what knife? What knife? I'm just kidding. I've never kept anyone's knife unless they just didn't pay me for sharpening. I have my own old timer double. I have a dog leg strap. I'm not a big for BD1N. It's okay for kitchen stuff. I just don't like the edge it takes. I like BD1N better than BD1 steel. I will tell you that. BD1 steel. Well, I can't really say that because is this cold steel that I didn't used to like, but now have acquired a taste for? What steel is it in? This is CTS BD1. And I didn't used to like it. And then I think I finally got the edge the way it was meant to be. So I don't know. I used to think I didn't like BD1 and I liked BD1N better. But I think now to think about it, the BD1 on this, the CTS BD1 on this cold steel, what is this? The Voyager, cold steel Voyager Tonto. I think I like this better than BD1N. BD1N's good for kitchen stuff. BD1, I mean, they're still not the steels I would prefer, but I'm not a fan of a lot of the nitrogen-based steels. I don't know why. I just don't think that they just don't do the stuff that I want. They just aren't quite what I want. Hinderer should pick a different steel. Why? What steel are you referring to? What steel is he using that you don't want him to use? I think he uses 20 CV, and I love 20 CV, to tell you the truth. If it's done well, and you can get past the fact every once in a while there's little black lines and stuff in in 20 CB. I had to throw away some blanks that I just couldn't get rid of. Grew up whittling. Slippies did me bad a few times. Don't like them for material removal. Paying attention pays dividends. I've had slip joints for years. I've never had a slip joint go closed on me. I've closed it myself by accident. And that's why I mentioned that in knives that are like knives for new knife users, like new to the hobby. I don't like a slip joint for some things, but yeah, I didn't, I've never had one close on me. I have closed one on myself, but I've never had one snap shut on me unexpectedly. Ooh. Want a Spyderco Resilient for OCD for EDC. Can't adjust it to get it to flip open. If I loosen it, yes. I don't buy anything in D2. Like the only knives I have in D2 were sent to me as gifts to the channel or gifts to me. I don't intentionally buy D2. No, that's not true. I bought one, and it was that rat one, that Ontario rat one that's around here somewhere. Or I did it as a giveaway. I can't remember. I'm not a fan of D2 because of the I'm not a fan of the corrosion. I really make stuff corrode. What one did you get? I'm trying to see it. One, a Spyderco Resilience. I want to look at it. Spyderco. Spyderco Resilience. Which knife is that? I'm trying to find an image of it just so I know. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're going to have a hard time with that. I'm going to tell you why. Spyderco Resilience is a lockback, and they typically don't flip very well. And you're not going to get where you're going. If it's a lockback, is it a lockback? I got to look again. Is it a lockback? I think it is. Here we go. Let's go here. Is it a lockback or is it? Sorry, guys. I just glanced at it and just made an assumption. No, it's a liner lock. Yeah, with that FRN handle and then that pivot, that's a one-sided pivot, you're not going to be able to walk it back and forth. I would say, yeah, they're right. You're probably not going to get it any better. If you loosen it, you're going to be off center and you have blade play. I don't like their FRN handles anymore. Let me see. I had this out because I'm trying to see if I can correct an issue with my FRN handle Spyderco in ZDP 189. So the problem with it is the way they are, you can only loosen one side. And that's okay for a lot of knives, but on these FRN scaled ones, for some reason, when you loosen it to make it a little freer, they have a tendency to get off center. So I really don't know. It might just take some break-in. So I resharpened this and I laid the angle back a little bit, and I haven't done any testing. I think we're going to do a revisiting my ZDP 189 Spyderco. So Benchmades are a lot like that too. Benchmades are really, if you get a Benchmade, there's a good chance you're going to have a Benchmade that is either too tight to flip, an axis lock. I mean, like a 940. You're either going to get one that's too tight to flip, and then you just give it enough to loosen it to where it's, where it's free, and then you have a little bit of blade play. My 940 has blade play. It has since the day I got it. It probably had it the day that the person that gave it to me bought it. So I don't know how much you're going to be able to do. That was the other thing I was going to say. You can loosen all the screws and then adjust your pivot and get it where you want it, and then try and tighten down all liner screws. I've done that. I mentioned that in videos before. You can kind of walk it, But if you have a two-sided pivot, you can tighten one side then the other and get it down to a point where it's tight, but it stayed centered sometimes. So I would say tighten the side that it favors, or tighten the side it doesn't favor, and see if you can walk it over, and then work them back together and see if you can keep it centered. A lot of times it's just not much you can do about it. That's another way to do it. But typically that works better if you have a two-sided pivot, because then you can play back and forth. Used an O-ring in my pivot and it seemed to help. So it just depends. But like I said, I'm going to revisit this and see. But here's the thing, like, it just doesn't feel right. Like, that doesn't feel sharp. And I resharpen it back down and I'm like, it just doesn't feel like it. Like, it just doesn't feel the way I want. Have I done a steel tier list? No, and I'm not going to. That's knife nut nerd stuff. Here's, you want to know why? I have steels that I really like, and I have steels that I don't like, and I talk about it. But the fact is, I personally feel that if you guys want to know, like, honestly, the last two things I look at when I purchase a knife, the very last two things, because they are the least important to me, are steel type and Rockwell hardness. Rockwell hardness being a little bit more important depending on the steel. Like, I'm not gonna tell you I wouldn't buy a knife in 420C. Buck's 420C is got a sick ass Bose heat treat on it, and I would put Bose heat treated 420C up against a lot of steels. ATS 34, another great steel that gets overlooked. It's things like that. I do not, honestly, half the time give a crap about steel. And I will tell you the honest to God's truth. A lot of people won't tell you this. I think that 99% of people in the knife community, including these guys that are those Rockwell junkies, a lot of them, if they were to be given a knife in a steel like 440C that has a good heat treat, or ATS 34 that has a good heat treat, or 154 CM, you know, the steels that they shit on and call garbage steels, and gave it to them, 99% of the average knife people, even the knife enthusiasts, would not be able to tell the difference. Unless they took it somewhere and did a Rockwell test, or did a fracture test, or did a metallurgy test and put it on an XRF, then maybe they would know. I honestly don't think that a lot of this shit that happens with the steels. Do I like the idea that people are pushing the limits on steels? Big Brown Bear has done more for figuring out incredibly weird heat treats on just the most mundane of steels. That's amazing. Do I think that, like, I don't need, to tell you the truth, I don't need a knife in 20 CV. As a matter of fact, my Chris Reeves Sabenza is done in S35VN at about, I can't remember what it is, like 55, 57, something like that, which is well below what We Knife Company uses for theirs. I think that I like that so much because it's so easy to maintain. I would rather have a knife that doesn't hold an edge quite as long, but then not have, like, to be able to touch it up on a belt or on something simple. I don't want something in my pocket that if I'm in a situation where I can't get back to the house anytime soon, do I want something that I can't sharpen? No, that's why I won't own Maximat. If it comes down to it and I got to bug out and I got my bug out bag, Maximat's not going to be in it. It's the same reason that there's a good chance that 44 Magnum Pew Pew is going to wind up in the hands of someone else if I have to bug out and shit goes sideways and I have to leave. Well, what am I going to carry? Well, I can't hunt game. I can't hunt small game with that big gun. But guess what I do have? I have a 22 revolver that I can hunt game with and use for a lot of the other shit that I would use that big gun for. That's the way I look at it. I look at it from what's going to serve me best in the field. Guess what? Maximat, Rex 121, a lot of the other super steels, hell, probably even 20 CV would be an afterthought. Those would be things that I'd be like, okay, it got dull, I'm throwing it away. What am I going to keep? I'm going to keep the shit that I can service on a piece of sandstone or a piece of limestone that I find out along a riverbank because now I'm out sleeping rough because for whatever reason, I'm not a prepper, but I think like that. Like if I have to bug out and I'm in the field and I can't take like my entire sharpening kit with me, what knives am I going to take? I'm going to take something I'm going to take something that's in VG10, S35 Vienna Lower Rockwell, D2, some of the other steels, 14C 28N. I can sharpen that on anything. You couldn't give me a bug out. That is a goddamn trash fucking, like, I wouldn't take a free bug out. I don't like them. And the price they're trying to sell them for, you are out of your fucking mind, Benchmade. The prices that Benchmade have listed on shit, Spyderco too, you are out of your fucking mind. I'm not saying there aren't some Spydercos that are worth that. I'm not saying there aren't some Benchmades that are almost worth that. But like the price on their mundane garbage shit, no. But then you also have to keep in, no, because you also have to keep in mind, you want something that's reliable and things like that. That's why the knives I mentioned would probably go. That PMP Big Boy in 14C, definitely something I would think about carrying. It's not too heavy and it's a big, nice blade. It's in 14C 28N. It's going to hold up well. It's going to be able to sharpen. The other choices, my Sebenza, reliable, well-built knives. I'm not taking something crap just because like I said, I'm not going to take the expensive stuff, but I also don't want something that I can't sharpen because it's a piece of shit. So don't forget the spear. I don't have a spear. I have a tomahawk. I honestly don't have a spear. I have a blowgun. I do have a blowgun. I carry the M4 bailout made out of metal. I only paid $130 with a snaggletooth kit, brand new in the box. Yeah, I don't like it's. Fixie for bug out all day. Yeah, I mean, I have fixed. That's what I was going to say. I have fixed blades here. You want to see what would probably be my fixed blade? I hate to admit it. One of these two. I would have to leave a lot of other stuff behind. Even my stonefish would probably not be my bug out stuff because that was designed as a combat utility knife. I'm going to say outdoor knife, nice hollow ground 14C, or not 14C, 440C. Is this 420? This is 420C. That's what it is. 420C, right here. The 119, the Buck 119 special. Great heat treat on it. Or the Lion Steel M3 in Nylox, which is a lot like was it N690? Nylox is like a different version of N690. So I really do like this. This is another thing that Winston Cabretti gave me. Winston Cabretti gave me this, the one that's always in my sweatshirt pocket, the that Bastinelli Acheron collab, and this, the PMP Big Boy, which, guys, full review of this knife goes up tomorrow morning, I believe. I think this is the video for tomorrow morning. It goes up tomorrow, either morning or afternoon. I don't remember which. So what would y'all recommend for a US made folder for EDC slice use, but not super pricey, willing to pay someone's livable wage? I'm going to say that my choice as far as American made knives that I know I can rely on, hands down, reliably every time. TRM, these are the brands. Anything by TRM, quality. Anything by Chris Reeve. Let's see. Hogue, anything by Hogue, really reliable. Who else? Who am I missing? Chris Reeve, TRM, Hogue, Spartan Blade Works. No, they have their stuff made overseas. I mean, it's an American company, so is Artisan, but everybody bags on Artisan, and so I figured I'd make sure I made that clarification. It's an American company, but see, I'm not a fan of ProTech. Like, I've had too many problems with ProTech knives. Are they good looking? Yeah. Are they fun? Yeah. I've had more problems with them. Spyderco makes some pretty good knives. Yeah, I mean, that would probably be the ones. What was this? CR. I disagree, because we looked at their catalog and I was like, what the fuck? Why are CRKT knives? Why are they all tip down carry? Not a single tip up. Don't know yet. I haven't heard anything. Not anything for certain. There you go, Microtech. I said Microtech the first time. I'm not going to go with that. They have blatantly stolen knives. Oh, here's one. Half face blades. Fuck Tor. They have blatantly stolen designs from Andy over at Half Face Blades, and Andy has called them out on it, and they've continued to do it. I don't. Fuck them. Monterey Bay knives are not made in the United States. So you guys are asking American-made folders. You guys asked American-made folders. So I was going with American-made folders. Yeah, I said Microtech. Microtech's knives are always good. They're kind of pricey. Chris Reeve knives, TRM. Okay, Medford. If you're into Medford knives, they are really good. Buck knives. Not all the Buck knives are made. Is the Sea Otter U.S. American made? But not all of them are, right? See, there you go. That's the person to ask. There's the person to ask. It's Richie and. Okay, so there you go. So there you go. The Sea Otter. That's actually an awesome knife. That would be a great one for that. Just the Sea Otter. Well, I mean, there you go. That's all you need. The Sea Otter's a great knife. I like the Sea Otter. I love the Sea Otter that Nico bought. That thing's great. Yeah. Andy has called him out on it, and they have continued to do it. So I just choose not to support them. The knives that they've sent, are not knives that I would like. The fixed blades that I've sharpened for people. The steel feels okay. The construction's okay. It's just they're like really, really thick behind the edge. They're not something I would see as useful. They're too thick, too blunt for the Tor knives. So, and like I said, I know Andy. Andy was Navy SEAL. They've had issues at their company. There's been lawsuits and things like that. And so I just choose not to support the company. Like, I'm not saying they're not okay knives. I'm just saying there's just too much other shit that goes with it. Do I believe that there should be a redemption arc? Yes, I mentioned that in a video because I was talking about Ganzo knives. And Ganzo knives were blatantly stealing Protex designs a few years ago when they were doing autos, like blatant theft of Protex knives. But they've stopped that. They're doing original designs. While I don't like that, I also believe there has to be some kind of a redemption arc for a company that has maybe done something that I don't agree with in the past, but moving forward is doing the correct thing. Like, you got to remember, a company in China doesn't realize that intellectual theft is, because it's so commonplace in China. Coming into the knife world where it's really, really frowned upon, they might not know. Talk to Andy. He'll tell you about it. Like, hit Andy up on Instagram and I'll tell you, he'll tell you right out that he's contacted him about it. And he's talked to him. Like Andy will tell you, Andy is a great dude. I know it personally. It might not be something that's in the news. I just know it personally because I've seen the designs. I'm like, bro, that is exactly Andy's knife. Go through Andy's catalog and tell me that the Tor is not doing stuff that looks almost identical. So like I was saying, like, I don't think that we should just banish companies because they did it in the past. If they're trying to make changes and things like that, then hey, you know, but I'm not going to say they aren't well-built knives. They are. They're beaters. I'll talk to you about it. I'll talk to you about it offline, Josiah. Because like I said, I talked to Andy. Like I'm friends with Andy, so I talked to him. I'll tell you something else too. My cousin asked me for a good, affordable knife to give his coworker at Christmas. I told him QSP Penguin. He went to a Buck because they're a USA company. He got them imported Bucks. Yeah, that's the other thing. You got to watch, like, not all the Buck knives are American made and things like that. But back to the, I did not realize the Sea Otter was American made. So there you go. Let's add that one. The Sea Otter, Microtech. Let's see what else. Fuck it. We've done enough on that. I think we are beating a dead horse. So I love this knife. Winston, if you're watching, I love this knife, man. It's just perfect. For a guy with big hands, this knife is just about perfect. See, I always forget about Hinderer because they're like the Tor knives. They're so thick that I just wouldn't see them as functional. Like, they're great knives, but they're just, I'm not lying. It's like some of my older Ferrum Forges that are a little bit thicker. The NTAC, as much as I love it, I look at it and I go, I can't get rid of it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite of the bunch because it was the first one I ever saw. I still love it. But is it a good choice for an everyday carry? It might be, for depending on the person. But like, it's right here. Let me grab it. It's right here. My wife comes out to the garage after a Lyot feed, and she's like, why is the garage a mess? And I'm like, well, I get to talking about digging the skinnies. Is that that's the big boy? Yeah, the PMP big boy. Like I said, the full review of this goes up tomorrow, either in the morning or in the evening. I don't remember. What are you talking about here? So they steal them. Yeah, well, once the knife community fucking at large starts saying, hey, this is fucked up, and complains about it, and then they realize that that's not acceptable behavior, then a lot of times companies stop doing it. There's been a lot of companies that in the past have come close to theft or outright stolen designs. But then they're like, hey, you know what? No one likes this. We're not doing that anymore. So that whole redemption arc that a lot of the people on the left-hand side of politics say things about but don't actually believe in. Well, Gilbert figures. Yeah. So what I was saying is, like, I love this knife. This thing is great. This is an amazing, comfortable knife, but like, it's thick blade stock. This is a beefy knife. That's not for everyone. I've used this for a lot of stuff. I think it still cuts okay, but now that I've gotten so many things with so much thinner behind the edge thicknesses, I can see that this isn't great for everything. I still love it. Like, I wouldn't get rid of it. This thing's a great knife. Ferrum Forge NTAC was the first Ferrum Forge I ever purchased. Liked it so much I bought my dad one, which is now my daughter's. So digging the skinnies. You know what I like? You know, in my opinion, like Jack Wolf knives, and we're going to talk with Ben from Jack Wolf knives. Ben from Jack Wolf is going to be on Friday. I'm letting you guys know that now. So Ben from Jack Wolf Knives is going to be on Friday. I think traditional slip joints, I think they're probably making the ones that I saw at Blade Show West. I'm pretty sure that, in my opinion, they're up there as good, if not better, than Great Eastern Cutlery. It's like, I'd say those guys are going to be competing for that top spot. The ones that I saw at Blade Show West were amazing, and I like a good slip joint. But if you want something that is a slip joint that is in a more modern configuration. Some of the best slip joints on the market right now are the ones from Rick Hinderer. Rick Hinderer slippies, they're awesome. Much thinner blade stock, thin behind the edge, because they're slip joint. They have to be. Like if you've got a slip joint, the spring, the bigger spring, that much contact, it would be so difficult to open. They are really, really good. I love the Rick Hinderer slippies because they're a slip joint that's in a more modern configuration. I kind of dig that. I also dig slip joints that have been brought forward, the original style, like that 1929 Finch. A 1929 Barlow that's a flipper. I'm down. I love slip joint knives. I always have. I was around them growing up my entire life. I had so many of them. So I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to speak to that until I talk to Ben. Not sure. Should do a video on guilty pleasure knives. I have some knives that are truly guilty pleasures, like things that I mess with that like I love that. I love that XO gravity knife. I love it. And it 100% was it was a little guilty pleasure purchase. I bought my Norseman, right? So here's how this worked. And I explained it to my wife. She didn't care. I bought my Norseman and my wife found how much I paid for it. And she was like, no more knives. And I was like, I saved that money over a period of like 5 years. It was completely separate. It was like a quarter here, a penny here, a dime there. And I put it in a separate account. And that's all that account was for. And it's not like I was trying to hide it from her. She could have seen it. It was on the bank statements, but it was 100% for this. And there were times I had to dip into it because we can't just, times get tight. I dipped into it and then I would replenish it. And I'm not joking. If I found there's a nickel on the floor over here, it's going to go in a can, which I still am going to do that. I'm just not going to use it for knives because I don't think there's going to be a lot more knife purchases in my future. I kind of got where I was going. I honestly think that this is the one that stopped the whole search for grail knives. I did a whole video about it. The whole problem with a grail knife is eventually you find another grail. And so, yeah, this was used and I paid all told with shipping and insurance and stuff like that. I paid just about, I think I paid $1,050 with tax and everything. So, they hold the value, but this was mint condition when I got it. And then, well, kind of. And then I literally used this shit out of this. And so I don't feel that urge to buy other knives because when I think about it, I'm like, well, is it going to do me any better than this is? Which I don't see it. Like this thing has come in so functional. But at any rate, I had saved all that money and I had more than I needed. So when I knew a guy that does secondary retail he sells stuff on the secondary market. He has a website and he's like, hey, am I putting us on the website? And I was like, no, you're putting that in a box and you're sending it to me because it met just right where I wanted to be on all of it. I have not handled that. So I had the money for the XO. I still had the cash for it. And so I bought it. So, I did. It's not like I was taking it out of anything personally. It was like literally nickels and dimes over the course of like 5 or 6 years. So sorry guys, I got into that. With your Asian background, do you have a bias towards the design of artistic styling of their blades? No, I'm more drawn to a knife that's really functional. I love some things about Japanese knives and I hate some things about Japanese knives. I'm more drawn to swords than I am. I'm more drawn to the Japanese swords than I am to Japanese knives. And that's because I took Japanese swordsmanship for numerous years while I was in Japan. As a matter of fact, we were talking about it. I looked at it and I took Japanese swordsmanship for 7 or 8 of the 13 years I was there. And I took it, like hardcore. Like I was there for like pretty much every week. I was there like 3 days a week. If not more. And on weekends, sometimes I'd be there all day on a Saturday. But there were times the ship would be gone. Now, when I was on shore duty, I went every day. Like I went every day and I trained. And so I'm more drawn to the swords. The knives, I've never been drawn to like knives for like a combat purpose, because the fact is like I don't like being that up close and personal, because even though, I mean, I trained how to do it. We trained martial arts. You do weapons, you do up close, and you do things like that and disarms. But the fact is I never really just kind of got into the knives. So sounds like you went on your grail for a quest, or went on your quest for grail knife. That's the purpose of going to another long experience. You picked well. Yeah, I mean, there may be something someday that strikes my fancy, and I might try to find it, but I don't think I'm looking for another super high-end knife. You know what I mean? Love my Norseman so much. Now I have 3. Hey, Scott. Hey, Scotch and things. Must be nice to have that kind of disposable income. No Higo no Kami? I have a Higo no Kami. It's over here. My Higo. I have an actual Higo. I have one of the actual Higos made by the last living member of the guild. I have a Higo no Kami. You know why I'm going to say no? Because like it closes in on itself. It hits the copper, the folded copper, and there's no lock on this. Like this is not a real safe thing. And it's Shimewaza. So that's not what you asked me the other day. You asked me about something else, which meant hard or defense. Waza is, see, when you put, I don't need to look that up. Waza is technique or method, and then whatever words you put in front of it. Now, judo has a bunch of different connotations. So Shime Waza was not the one you said the other day, but I do know that there was a couple. I put it in the thing, Frank. Without the hyphen, it doesn't come out with the way. It's important to put that. I started chasing them for special build dates. I didn't want a special build date, but I had a range of when I wanted it because of the manufacturing that they were doing at the time and everything about it. I wanted something less than 2,000, but over 1,600. Katame waza and shime. So katame means hard or defense. Shime. Hang. ちょっと待って。Yuka, shime wa nani? Shime. 日本語 shime wa nani? Depends on the kanji. So, no. Like a martial arts. Like judo. Shime waza. Close. Okay. That's probably shime waza probably is in your, that's using your gi. So shime waza is probably, I would say for me to translate that, because it means clothing, it's probably the choke technique that they use. Grappling and choking. See, I was right. If you like, because shime means close or a name. So shime is close, and knowing enough about martial arts, I'm going to say that's probably a choke technique. Shime waze is where you get up and you get their gi up against their throat. I took a little bit of grappling, not much. Most of my stuff was all like other forms of martial. I don't want to be on the ground. I'm a big guy. I don't want to be on the ground. Being on the ground is not for me. I'd rather just knock you unconscious. Unagi, like Ross was saying, unagi, it's a choke. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a choke. So when she said clothing, I'm like, oh, it's a gi. Yeah, I was like, okay, so it's a choke with the gi. But I never took judo. Never once took judo. Just because you took Japanese martial arts doesn't mean you took judo or jujitsu. There's a whole lot of other techniques that you use. So I mean, I could figure it out from the context. She said clothing. I was like, it's a gi choke. A gi choke. That's what it is. I know. I'm gonna have food in my mouth. So now I sound like Jod from Cutlery Corner Network. So, guys, it's been 2 hours. I'm gonna end this. We're partway. We're kind of into this a little bit. So just a reminder, what we're doing is, if we can get $400 in super chats before the end of the week, and if I don't do Wednesday, I'll extend it to Monday. If we can do that, if we can get to $400 in super chats to help me take care of the shit I need to take care of on my car, I will carry this and that's this knife right here. I figured it would make sense. I could do it. So that way I sound like Jot. His guy's name is Todd from Cutlery Corner Network. At any rate, if we can get to $400 in super chats by the end of the week, I will put my Norseman in its case and I will carry this as my primary carry for the rest of the month. What do you guys think? Trust me, I'll tell you if we get to it, but I'm going to also say I will let you know Friday where we stand. I'll let you guys know Friday where we stand. We're not going through this because the whole thing is, if you go over, I'm still keeping it. I'm gonna keep it secret till Friday. That way, if you pay me extra, I just keep it because I'll need it. Because I don't know if $400 will cover the emotional damage that this is going to cause. Emotional damage. We do have a running total. I have it written down. It's right here. It's on that piece of paper. So, guys, I apologize if I just bit my tongue again. I apologize if I have been ignoring the Gilded Server. It's been hectic. Steven Seagull. I would need more. I would need at least 2 therapy sessions, but no, I'm going to put it in I got to get because my neighbor's a mechanic. I have to buy a compressor for my air conditioner because summer's coming up. And guys, it was 97 degrees the other day. So I have to get that air conditioner fixed. And he's just going to put it in for me. So I'm not going to have to pay like that exorbitant. Oh, do you hear the squeak? I want you to hear it. There's a squeak. Listen once more. There's a squeak. $400. $400. I'll carry it for the rest of the month. That's a long time. Guys, I love y'all. Keep it clean in the comment section. I mean, we already have a comment section. I say that so often, I've just gotten used to it. I love you guys. I'll talk to y'all later. Wednesday, I'm going to be on Jared Neves' live feed. And after that, I'm going to be on my live feed. Probably. If I do Wednesday, we're going to look at the Boker catalog. It's over there. The flipper activates tiny mice inside. No, it doesn't. Guys, it's been fun. It's always fun. I come into these in a bad mood and you all cheer me up. I love it. That's why I do these live feeds. I'm not going to lie. I do these live feeds 100% for me because live feeds really don't get you anywhere on YouTube. Jared and I were talking about this. Live feeds don't get you much of anything as far as YouTube. It doesn't affect like your real, like your view counts. It doesn't affect your income really. It does with the super chats. But what I'm saying is I do these solely for fun because I enjoy it and I like interacting with you guys. It's even more fun when I have somebody younger. You guys want to know why Cole's on all the time? Because he's fun. I will see you guys later. See you Wednesday. Don't forget, there's 2 videos going up tomorrow. One of them is the much requested and much awaited PMP Big Boy review. So I just can't remember if it goes up in the morning or afternoon. One of the 2. So see you guys in a video later. I'm not going to do the countdown. I got stuff I want to do. Later.